talk show. I'm your host, Cillian Wakespeare. Today, we'll be bringing guests from different time periods thanks to our time machine sponsored by Geico, saving you 15% or less on life insurance. Our first guests come from the 15th century. Richmond and Richard, everybody.
Whoa.
Come on in, come on in.
Hey.
Hey, Richard, how you doing?
Cillian.
Richmond, how you doing?
Good.
Good. How are your wives?
Oh, good. You know, she's the new queen. So,
she's dead asleep.
All right, let's get down to it. Richard, do you think you united the Tudor house?
Well, yes, I think I did. Because, when it comes down to it, I didn't want to kill all those people, right? But, as you can see, before my battle, I felt guilty about it. And I didn't feel good about it, and I had moments of doubt about myself. And so, I think when you really analyze and you look at what I said, I did unite the Tudor house, but I didn't feel good about it.
yeah, but then you said, oh, I'm the villain that I wanted to become. Well, how do you explain that? You killed all these innocent people just for your own selfish needs.
Well, let's try to keep it professional here. All right, let's move on. So, word on the street is there's some paranormal activity going on before the final battle.
Yes,
No.
What do you mean?
You have no proof.
Really? Richard, look behind you. Boom!
Vaughn!
Ah!
Yes, there was paranormal activity. Like, around 11 ghosts came to visit me that night and said that I would live and flourish, just like the Tudor house is today. Richard is nothing more than a villain who wants to be king and take over.
See, but when I said I would prove a villain, I meant I would become a common enemy to unite England. You guys should be grateful for me. I mean, if it wasn't for me, the Tudor house would have never come into power. They would have never united.
We've been hearing some really good content. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. So, Richard, I find it hard to believe that this was your plan all along. Yes, it's true that Richard would have no reason to come over unless it was for your tyranny. But I don't think you did it alone.
I agree. There was still blood on your hands. And I even talked to the murderers that you hired to kill Clarence and the two princes, and you can't say that that was for the greater good.
Well, whether you agree with my methods or not, at the end of the day, you wouldn't have come into power without me. And
Alright, but was that planned? I'm the one who actually united the two houses by marrying Elizabeth, and all you did was go on a killing spree.
Some very good content we had here today. This is all the time we have for these today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Door's right there. Have a nice day. Here's our next guest. He couldn't make it with us today because he's busy starving his people. Kim Jong-un, everybody.
Hello, I am Kim Jong-un, Supreme Leader of North Korea. How are you, Cillian Wakespeare?
Good, good. Quick question. Did Richard unite the Tudor house?
Yes, very much. I respect Richard and his work. I base my work around him. I would often think, WWRD, what would Richard do? So what? He sacrificed a few pawns to win the game. He's not a bad guy. A few of them don't even count. Lady Anne was practically dead because she was a Lancaster.
I don't think it works that way.
Stop. Of course it works that way. If she wanted to be free, she wouldn't go back to Richard.
Good point. Last question. What was that?
Cannot hear you. Breaking up. North Korea for life.
Well, seems like we lost connection. What a pity. Well, here's our next guest, Mr. President Barack Obama. Mr. President,
Cillian,
please take a seat. Question of the hour. Did Richard unite the Tudor house?
Well, I think that Richard did, in the end, unite the Tudor house, but he did it very unethically.
So you're saying the ends don't justify the means.
Exactly. I also don't think that it was Richard's intention to unite the Tudor house. I mean, I think that's just how it worked out.
That's very interesting. Why do you think that?
Well, quoting Richard himself, he said, "And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these fair, well-spoken days, I'm determined to prove a villain." And I mean, it's clear that his plan wasn't to unite anyone, but rather become a villain and eventually get to the crown.
Thank you for your opinion, Mr. President. Now that you've had back-to-back presidential terms, what do you plan on doing after that?
Well, silly. I plan on taking my MBA, my talents to the NBA. You know, I'm gonna join the Splash Brothers at the Golden State Warriors.
Very nice. Roll this highlight clip.
Well, Cillian, thank you for having me, but looks like it's time for my meeting.
Very nice to have you, sir.
Thank you.
Please welcome our final guest, none other than our 3-time MVP and 4-time Super Bowl champion, Tom Brady.
How you doing, silly? I'm glad to be here.
Good. Question of the hour. Richard, did he unite the Tudor house?
Well, as it is known, I've studied this extensively in college, majority of my time being spent on this subject, and I believe he did. I see nothing wrong with the morals he used to get there. So if you cut a few corners, break a few rules, I mean, who's really going to notice, as long as he denies everything?
It sounds like you have first-hand experience.
Nope. I don't know what you're talking about, Cillian. But I do know that he did unite the Tudor house, and, you know, if it wasn't for him killing a few, like, minor characters, then Richmond would have never come over to take the throne away from him.
That's a really good point you make. Well, that's all the time we have today. Tune in with us next week when we discuss tomatoes, fruits, or vegetables. Good night, everybody.